over and over again. 'Cause times like these I live over and over and over again. There's times like these I live over and over and over.
Hey!
Hey, what's up? Hey, so this is Interviews with Alternative Indian, and we have friends at the Falls. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
How you doing? I'm Jake. I'm a lead singer and guitar player.
I'm Dan. I play bass.
Yeah, I'm Matt. I'm the drummer.
Awesome. Well, it's great to meet you guys, and it's great to have you on our show. So let's start out with where you're from and where the name Friends at the Falls originates from.
Sure. We're from Mahopac, New York. It's about an hour north of New York City. And we've all been best friends for as long as you remember, like preschool. There's two guys missing right now. Nick Janusa, who plays lead guitar.
We're the better half.
And John Sinise, who plays the keys. But we're from Mahopac Falls is the area.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of took a little bit from where we're from, smashed it together for our band name.
Yeah, it's kind of like half of us are from Mahopac Falls, which is one side of town, and me and him Croton Falls, which is a train station. So like between the two, we figured Falls. There you go, it's reoccurring, and then we're all best friends. So Friends at the Falls, man, was conceived.
Cool. Very cool. So what gave you the idea to start this band? Like what gave you the inspiration to begin?
Yeah, that's probably more so me. Is that when we were in high school, there's this great dude. Shout out to Mr. Przmilski, great teacher and a big influencer in our lives. At least for me and Matt, we were in this thing called Illusion, and it's this like kind of rock band within the school that they put on this great show. And it's a long story short, it's a great program, and that kind of lit a fire under me at least. And I started writing songs, and we were in this small high school band that I think I wanted more out of. So we started writing more and more, and I started off as Jake Sam, just my name, and then it was kind of stupid because we wanted to be a band name and everything, and that's when we started shooting about like 5 names a day, some ridiculous stuff that just like would never be a band name. We were just like, it doesn't matter, let's keep coming up with ideas, it'll finally stick. And Friends at the Falls came along, and then once we made the first EP that doesn't exist anymore, Goodbye Croton.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. It's all good. And I asked Dan, well, first of all, I asked Don, because Don played piano classically for years. He's really talented, like way more talented than to be in this band. And what's it called? Then we needed a bassist, and I was like, Dan, like, would you want to do it, man? Like, it's just like, it's so easy. I'll teach you root notes, and it'll be a joke. And like, he was like, yeah, dude, I'll do it. It was like kind of, it wasn't a joke, but it was like kind of like,
Yeah, it was just holdouts. I mean, I played trumpet up through like 8th grade. Did not translate. Learning how to play bass, but like I remember the first show, I was just up there like 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's so funny. So you learned an instrument to become in the band.
Yeah, it's just an amazing opportunity with the best friends. Touring. I saw them. They were doing like their original projects. I remember going to their shows and be like, God damn, like I'm not gonna let these guys like do this and not be in on it.
It was and it is very serious. I think there's not to bash anyone that's being creative out there, but like it's meshing creativity with a business like mindset. I think you got to understand that a band is a small business, and you got to nurture it as so. So I think once we really got serious, and I think this era right now with the new records and stuff is when things are going to change. And now our mindsets have changed, and the level of quality is all changed, and now it's only going to go up from here.
Right. So talking about new music, you have your newest single out today. Stay All
Night, baby. It's fun, dude. It's been 2 years since we've released new music, and now finally, it just feels amazing. It feels amazing that it's out there. There's no changing it, and we're proud of it.
Yeah, it's been a lot of work. Like last year at least, we've been working on a lot of the new songs on the new EP we have coming out, and just to think like back then how long like we mapped out like the next couple of months of like tracking, mixing everything, and it's just like. It's all going to take a lot of time, so to finally be where we are right now is really exciting.
Weird, man. It's a lot of every day's a new schedule. You're like, okay, we just got to do this, and it just keeps going.
How have you grown since the We Are Friends EP, which is the last EP you have out since 2016 to now?
Well, hugely a big addition is Nick Janusa, our guitarist, who is we had 2 group chats Friends of the Falls, and we had Best Buddies. And the best buddies was Friends of the Falls with Nick. And Nick has always written great songs. He's amazingly talented with like electronic music and stuff. But then for him, he never played guitar. So we were on our winter tour, and our touring guitarist we were kind of having slight issues. And we were in Philadelphia, and me and Matt were in the same car. And we called him. And we said, Nick, you're gonna remember this call. I quote, "You're gonna remember this call for the rest of your life, man. Listen, we trust you. You're our best friend. I don't care how long it takes. Learn guitar. Be in the band. We're gonna tour. It's open road ahead." And he was like, man, fine. And so I gave him like one of my guitars, and he practiced for a while. And he's definitely. I think he's outgrown me as a guitarist.
So now you have two newcomers in the band who didn't know how to play anything.
Didn't know how to
They
play.
are now with the 5-piece bands, just completely destroying the whole entire thing, man. Just making it amazing.
And Nick was the last piece to the puzzle.
He was. That was it.
Now it's
was it.
complete. The project is here.
It. There's something that's palpable with him on stage now. It's just like an energy that we, all of us together just makes sense, and it always has. But we were at a point where it's like we had to make that jump to just, I don't care how long it takes, just learn how to play your instrument. But
and he killed it. Like the first show he ended up playing was our audition to get onto the UMass spring concert opening up.
His first show was in front of 600 people,
was-
and then
No
his third show was in front of 2,000 plus people, opening for Lil Dicky, John Bellion, and 2 Chainz.
Yeah.
What?
In an arena.
No
Yeah.
way, dude. No way.
And dude, and respectfully to Nick, and he'd agree, he's a timid kid. He's a
He is,
really
yeah.
shy kid.
Right?
So I give him credit
He
for
killed it.
He killed it. Dude.
No better way to come out of your shell than in front of 2,000 people.
That's too funny. Well, congrats on
Yeah.
that show. That sounds like it was a wicked time, honestly.
But
That's
yeah,
right.
but
Thank you, man.
to get back to the core of the question, with We Are Friends, I produced every record thus far. I've at least produced a vast majority of it until now. This new one we sent out to people and got it well produced and everything. But We Are Friends, I produced. The drums were programmed.
Right?
So and now it's Matt playing, which I think brought just
Power.
power and actual feel, and it was just all underproduced We Are Friends. And now at this point, I think where the songs meet the level of production, it's made something that's special. I think people really like it. But with Nick, last thing is that the new EP is called Wild in Our Ways, and so there's a title track, Wild in Our Ways, which Nick wrote. And it's just nice to have a different approach to songwriting, because Nick approaches his songs differently than I do. And when I get a hold of his and I kind of put a little bit of my mindset into that, it makes we have a style. Him and I mixed together. It's kind of interesting, and I think that might be a little.
So yeah, it's definitely a big part of being in a band is evolving. So starting somewhere small, but having to let go of that and to change yourselves to become something better. Kind of like how a butterfly goes from a caterpillar to spread its wings. You know what I mean?
Exactly it, man.
And you guys are just right there in the middle, and
Exactly.
you're just on your way up through the stages of becoming a good, successful band. So
Exactly it. And
you
we
guys-
look at some of the pioneers in our genre.
Mhm.
Like for me, I'm knowingly a big Killers fan. Everyone knows that. And if you look at them, the way they evolved, they kept their same Killers sound, but they were able to do it amongst so many different styles. And
of course,
that's what I respect about them. There are some big players that maybe evolve and that they kind of change a little too much, maybe not for the better. But the Killers, for me, at least personally, they've just evolved so well. And I think that's kind of the route we're trying to take, is that no matter what genre we're doing and what we're playing or writing, I think there has to be a little bit of us in it no matter what.
oh, absolutely. It kind of reminds me of Rush too, because they have 20 or so albums, and everyone's a different album completely. But it's Rush, you know what I mean? Everyone loves Rush.
Exactly.
And then, so also, as you guys are evolving, touring, it's a big part of it.
Currently, we have this past year we've been super selective. It's kind of like pick your battles type thing. Whereas we've only been going on ties with good content, only good shows.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
So we've been playing New York a lot, and now we're on our second festival ever. It's still local, but it's actually pretty big. It's a Pleasantville Music Festival.
Okay.
And then we have our EP release show in August, and then after that, I think the fall or the spring is when we're aiming for our next this Wild in Our Ways tour.
So Is it like a different experience from last year when you toured to this year? Like, is it a completely different feel, or is you still have like the same hype to it?
Yeah, no, I think the big thing about this year is me and Nick both graduated school. They had graduated the previous year, and it's kind of just been like 100% now. You know, like no more excuses. Like we're all kind of all in on it. So it's like that includes the music. That includes we filmed 2 great music videos, and like everything we've been doing, the band pictures. You know, it's like 100% kind of like complete commitment. So everything we're doing from now on, it feels like the show. You know, every show we get, it's so important. You know, it's like, and we've been.
It's a good thing because everything is important. You know, so like if we went into one show and we're like, it doesn't matter. Like, that's really a bad early sign. Yeah. That's like you gotta like get a kick in the ass.
We really feel like we're growing. Like we're getting great opportunities with shows, and like really fortunate with some venues and everything. So
I think patience is the name of the game. Is that everyone wants to be the biggest thing tomorrow. You know, you think I don't want to be playing Terminal 5 tomorrow, you're crazy. But I think it's a good thing. We're all very good at taking a step back and just being happy with where we are and to keep growing and always willing to learn.
Of course, and you told me before how you started your tour with 2 cars.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, oh man, you know, you start out basically with scraps, you know, and then you go from your own cars, and you grab a van together, and you're in a van.
Yeah.
Then after the van, you eventually move up to a bus, and you.
Yep,
and
exactly.
From there, you just keep going.
I'll keep a long story brief, but we before we went on the 2 sedan, we had bought our first tour van, and we bartered the guy down to $1,200 for the van, and
wow.
$1,200 on Craigslist.
Oil City,
Long Island. It was a hell of a ride, but we couldn't register it because we didn't have plates, and like it needed its title. It was gonna take 3 months, whatever. And we didn't want to leave the car there for 3 months in the middle of like kind of like a slummy area of Long Island. So basically, me, Dan, and Don, Operation Bring Our Boy Home. So I drove all the way an hour and a half from Long Island while they were convoying, and you guys were in front of me, so no one would see the broken taillight. Yeah. And our headlight. And we were driving. We went through like Easy Passes, paid in cash, like all this like stuff like that. And we back to bring the van back.
And there was like a new exhaust on it, so like they hadn't taken the plastic off the bottom or something. So we got back, and it just smelled so bad. Like, we were like, burnt. What is going on? And you look under, it's like burnt plastic hanging off.
No.
And I also didn't want to like overheat the cars, so it was the middle of winter, so I didn't put the heat on. I didn't touch anything. The AC was on, and I was like freezing and shaking in fear.
I'm like in the car with you. I can feel it. I can feel the cold.
Now that van is home, dude. I can't wait to get back in there. It's made it so far, and who knows how many. I hope it can keep going.
Absolutely.
First comes where it's $1,200, you know.
Yeah. So you guys were talking a little bit about music videos and stuff. When can we expect to see some music videos, and what will they be about?
When can they expect it? We're editing them now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A couple to be determined dates. But we actually have a little fun one coming out for sale night, you know, in a week or two. It's just our childhood videos. We got them all converted into DVDs, and then took the best ofs kind of and like put it together.
And like kind of curated the song well. We were surprised to see that some of our mouths moved with the lyrics.
Wow.
So it's pretty unbelievable. You'll see it's mostly in the intro and stuff, but we curated the clips really well to match the song, and at least for us, like, you know, I hope people enjoy it, but for us, it really brought a tear to your eye. And like our parents, like everything is just like, because it's, you know what's crazy, man? What really blows your mind is that when we were going through each other's videos, we would find each other in other members' videos. Before, yeah, exactly. Like, so in kindergarten, I'd be next to Nick on Halloween day and wearing a superhero like shirt. Like,
That's
so it's like
funny. That's
and like somehow like down the line, me and Dan are family friends, and we didn't know, and like now we realized that our families hang out all the time, and like so like I think that video triggered a lot, at least for me, and but yeah, that's coming out.
Yeah, and for the professional, like Streetlight Kids and Wild.
Yeah, those are like professionally well done. Those are, when are those gonna like maybe
probably like one of them will be out with a single.
Yeah,
at least one of them.
Maybe Streetlight Kids.
Yeah,
I think Streetlight Kids can be expected. Streetlight Kids is kind of like a pretty straightforward love story. The video, feel good, summer, kind of trying to capture that first moment where you first see this girl, and it's a mystery, but you're ready to take You're ready to solve that mystery.
Yeah.
Wild in Our Ways music video is phenomenal. I gotta say, it's a great concept, and we were so fortunate that all the videotaping worked out. We did it all in like 4 days.
It
That's
was
amazing.
great. Like 12-hour days.
12-hour days, just nonstop grinding, and it
A
worked
lot of
out.
help.
A lot of
Yeah,
help.
I can relate to that. Being on set for hours on end.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we owe
It's
so many
worth
people
it in the end.
so many IOUs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see all of them too. It sounds like so. It's based around the EP, and then you guys were talking about an album. Like, will there be the EP, and then later on an album?
So I think one thing for sure that I don't want to do, I don't mind maybe incorporating 1 or 2 songs from the EP on the album,
Right.
but I think in modern day, a lot of bands are like, here's the EP, here's the album, half the album is the EP, and we churn out so many songs a week, where it's like, how could we deprive the world of just
Yes.
new songs?
I
So
agree.
so I think, like I said, I wouldn't mind if there are statement settings. Let's say "Stay All Night" hits the fan, and like everyone loves it, and it's wonderful. I wouldn't care if that's on there, but I don't expect all 6 songs to be on the album.
And you want to be cohesive with an album,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's like a real statement. That's why, like,
Yeah.
we're kind of really waiting on that. You know, we
Yeah.
really want to.
We wanted the album immediately. Like, after the first 2 EPs, we're like, album time. We were like, you know something? Especially with the attention span of people these days, the EP has essentially become the new album in a way. And not fully, but within one song, I guess it's like something that you have to like dive into. And an album's just long as hell. You have to really love the band to listen. So, I mean, it's unfortunate. I don't agree with it, but I think the EP is going to be. It's just long enough. 6 songs are going to sit well, and I think once we win people over and they see what we're about, I think we'll know when to gauge when it's time for the album.
Yeah. We're also conscious of the fact that if you release an album independently, it could flop real hard. And we know that we have one shot with a debut album. So we just want to make sure it's done right. Like, not necessarily, it doesn't have to be through a label, but
If we're going to do it independently, we have to know that there's something backing it.
yeah.
It's going to be great from what I've heard so far, and from what we've been cranking out. I think it'll be just as amazing as what you've been putting out so far, or if not more.
Thanks. Thank you. I think each song is going to hold its place, and each song is going to have its listener.
It has its own
Oh, yeah.
vibe. The song is really independent on the new EP.
Yeah, I agree. I would have wished that that they flowed and had similar sounds, but I will say that I think for the most part they're very individual.
And that could just be us being like super, you know, like super sensitive to like
Yeah, I agree.
the differences. We like an outside listener might be like, oh, these are totally all.
Yeah,
like,
these are the same thing. Yeah. Or like for us, it might be like, oh no, dude, that has an acoustic guitar.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
totally.
That's why it's best that it's out in the world now. We're happy that it's just released, and
Exactly.
it's
Oh
like, we've
my
been
God.
sitting with it for so long,
Dude.
now let the people have
And let it be known, we've been sitting with it, but like I know I know these songs too well.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Too well. I've mixed them way too long, and it's kind of funny. Like by the time you release the EP, like, and I'm not saying I'm over it, but like, and not at all, because that sounds negative.
Mhm.
But I'm already at the next. I've been at the next chapter. I'm writing
Oh,
new
yeah.
songs, and that's like classic for like any artist. But it's just funny. Everyone's hearing about it now, and this has been our lives for like the past
over
year and a half.
Yeah.
I took one of the songs is called Graffiti, and it was my senior year of college, and I was still trying to find like kind of like get better at producing music and whatever. I must have spent a year on that song,
Wow.
and that mix was not even that great. So like now that song, well mixed, is on the EP, but that song's been around for 2 years. So what's it called? All the Things We Said has been around for around 2 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So to wrap things up a little bit, you guys been doing a lot of covers too, like on Instagram and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I love like they're all in the open, as you said before. You're
Yep.
trying to incorporate those acoustic sessions and stuff with your music, and it's kind of cool that you've been covering some fun artists, especially like Coldplay too.
Yep. The
I saw
Fix You
you
cover.
played those out on the open, and you played someone else in the snow. Who was that?
We did. Oh, that was us.
That was
our-
yours. That was your song.
that was the
That's what I
original
thought. I
song.
was like, I'm like, this doesn't sound like a cover to me. I'm like, this sounds like a
That song, I'm super excited for. I personally been waiting for the moment to release it. It's something completely different for
It
at
is
least for us.
really unique.
It's a unique song layout and everything. It's just unbelievable.
I forget about that song.
Dude,
I
I
used to
know.
play it
It's
all
a-
the time live.
It's called "Breathing Is an Automatic," and
Okay.
and that's coming out God knows when, but like when we feel like it. And but the music video idea to that is unbelievable,
I know,
and it will happen one day. We have to learn how much it costs to rent a bear, but But that's all we'll say right now. We're still pricing out our bears. And
Who's your bear guy?
who's your bear guy? You know, we we never want it to be like a cover band ever, and not that makes us a cover band, but I also don't want to be like a social media cover artist where like people just cover songs. So we do it very selectively, like that. Like so far we've only done 2 covers and an original: "Can't Help Falling in Love," Elvis, "The Breathing Is an Automatic," and "Fix You." And I think it's just got to be natural. And I think we've been thinking about doing one soon, but for "Fix You," that was right before we filmed for the Street Like Kids music video. But we had just found that spot. We
So how did you guys get the audio for that too? Like,
the audio. Well, it's funny you asked that. We kind of record the core of the audio there, and I have like a bunch of stuff running off screen, but then like we do some overdubs because like it's kind of like. It's Young the Giant, like they're in the open sessions, they do like the same thing. It's like you got to find a way to keep it natural, but to like you want the quality. You want someone to be able to YouTube convert it and listen to it on their way to work.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Definitely, we do some overdubs on it too, and it always ends up coming out pretty nice.
Very cool. I look forward to seeing all these new things you've mentioned that are coming out with your acoustic sets and your EP, your new album.
Yeah, man.
Music videos are just so I feel like I'm in a Kid in the Candy Shop. There's so much coming towards me. I just don't know which one to listen to
we're
first.
sitting on it and we feel like that, and it's actually a good feeling to have. You know, you don't want to be like desperate for like stuff to share.
Yeah,
oh, of
and now
course.
we really have an abundance.
And you know,
it's so exciting.
And last thing to touch on with content, one little the sprinkles on the ice cream sundae of content is it's Dan's idea. These guys are big into podcasts. I'm not really an avid listener.
Sure.
But what Dan came to us one day with was, man, like we should do a podcast, but like we should make it as if like Jake, if you love the Killers, if you could hear what the Killers were talking about, just like on a day-to-day, is like what's their favorite type of ice cream flavor? What's what they do one time with that girl and that night, and it's like. So that's what we just started recording them. We're sitting on them, but
Nice.
These podcasts incorporate what we're doing with our music, but then they kind of have a bunch of stories in them that like about us.
A little more insight.
Yeah. So you can really like kind of be in the room with us. And it was kind of the first time we recorded it. We were playing like N64 just so we felt natural,
Nice.
and we were just chilling. But now we've gotten better where we can like do it in the van and like sit down and just talk about it and like
Very original.
yeah.
Cool.
Thanks.
It's good content.
Yeah, we're ready for the slow burn. I think it'll take some time to catch, but I think once it does, people will really level with it.
Just sending content from every angle, like ones that people don't expect to, is like the best way to attack. Like especially with this new EP, give them music videos, podcasts, new tunes, like,
and we just released
everything.
new pictures that, dear Lord, we're so excited. I love them. It's my favorite band picture so far that we've ever taken. It's we found this really colorful bridge in Midtown Manhattan, and we were like, let's just get balloons that match the colors of the bridge, and like, it can't, if you check it out, we just updated everything.
Very cool. So, Stay All Night, your new single's out now. Go listen to it. Everyone who's watching or listening, go give it a listen, spin it, and look forward to Friends of the Falls new EP coming soon, within the next season or so, and then eventually album. We really look forward to it.
Hopefully, baby steps,
Baby steps. But yeah, so thanks for coming on the show, and thanks for being with us.
Hey, thanks for having us, man.
Thanks for having us, dude.
It's an honor. It's an honor.
Dude, really just well done. Well done, sir.
Thank you. All right, well, we'll see you guys next time, all right?
Sounds good, bro.
Thanks, man.
Peace out. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this interview, you can go ahead and click the subscribe button in the top left corner, and you can check out our other interviews on the right in the other boxes. You can also find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.